For what seems like eons, it seems like everyone has had the same thing to say about the Dallas Cowboys. Pay Dak. Well, they did that in the offseason. Draft more defensive players. Figure out the defense because clearly the offense is carrying you. Well, I'm here to finally say it. And what I'm about to say might offend some people, but don't take it the wrong way because I love what the Cowboys did in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys finally got it right. If we want to be honest with ourselves, actually, they got it right by paying Dak Prescott. We already covered that. But they finally got the 2021 draft, right. Heading into the draft, they had major needs along the defensive unit, if you will. And really, I don't think I questioned any part of their offense. I was just really excited to see Dak Prescott come back. And I was really excited to see if they got the correct defensive players, how this franchise would progress. And boy, did they get some dudes. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten. We always have to do that little reminder. But the Dallas Cowboys, to me, I believe, made them in the conversation to be the best team in the NFC East. No longer the NFC least. I apologize. They are in the conversation for being one of the most stacked teams. And I'm actually really excited for what this team will do. Overall, I do think that the Dallas Cowboys, like any NFL team, have some proving to do. But we're going to go through their draft picks real quick, okay? Micah Parsons. I have to say that when I saw them trade down from 10 to 12, with a division rival, caught me off guard to say the least. I'm like, you just don't trade with division rivals. That's just not how it works. But they did, and they got the 82nd overall pick for it. And I really like the trade because they got an extra third rounder, and they still ended up with Micah Parsons, whom I believe is the best defensive player in the draft. I don't think there's any question to it. Just watch his tape. That's all I have to say. People say that's such a cliche answer. Watch his tape. That's all I have to say. He is the most explosive player, and I know I wasn't alive for it, so I'm not necessarily. Don't get me wrong. I know Lawrence Taylor is a legend, but in terms of explosiveness, I don't think from the highlights I've watched, he reminds me a lot of Lawrence Taylor. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he is, but there's some similarities. We're talking about a guy that if you watch him on tape, every time he is running, it looks like this man is shot out of a cannon. Like I literally double shot, like they double poured powder into this cannon and shot him out of it. 109 tackles his sophomore year, opted out his junior year. Had 5 sacks as well. I don't think that's by accident because if you watch how this man runs downhill, man, oh man, he is just a fun player to watch. They got the best defensive player, and now I feel confident saying they probably have the best young linebacking core in the NFL. Not afraid to say it. Don't care. I'm at this point with Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, if he can kind of live up to kind of some of those expectations and also just stay healthy. Man, oh man, oh man. This linebacking core is scary moving forward. Scary. If it's not the best group in the NFL, it's close. It's in the conversation. Or it's going to be very, very soon. I'm really excited for the Cowboys. Now, we're going to get into these other picks because, again, we covered it. Major need was defensive, and it was all the way through. Kelvin Joseph, we had Joe on the podcast talking about that was probably the next best corner they would get. And they indeed did get Kelvin Joseph in the second round, 44th overall. Now, I wasn't 100% sold on Joseph, who transferred – didn't transfer. He was at LSU in 2018, made his way to Kentucky in 2020, had 4 picks, including a pick 6. And I was really thinking, okay, 5'11", 200-pound cornerback. I don't know. I just don't know. Usually you like those taller cornerbacks, but man, I watched the tape on this guy, and you talk about a guy that's got ball skills. I think he's going to figure it out in the NFL, and I think he's going to be a solid corner for the Cowboys, who, by the way, needed corners, so I love this pick. Then you go down to, I'm going to say this wrong, Osa Odighizuwa. I mean, I've been watching tape on this guy for a long time. I wanted the Vikings to get him, especially in the later rounds. We're talking about a guy that had 11.5 sacks at UCL. Just a heart hustle guy, goes after it, gets it done. I'm really excited to see what he does with the Cowboys. After that, Chauncey Golston out of Iowa. I mean, this we're gonna grade the Cowboys draft a little bit down the road, but I mean we're talking about Chauncey Golson, Jabril Cox, who I think could be the steal of this draft. A fun fact for you: I played against a guy that played with him in high school. Long story, but point is this: Jabril Cox might be the biggest steal of the draft. Played at NDSU, won a couple of national titles, transferred to LSU. Just a man. Coverage, explosive, makes plays. I mean, I honestly don't think that he should have made it to as late as he did. I thought he should have been a second, maybe even a third round pick, but should not have fallen all the way to 115. But you know what? It is what it is. And you know what? The Cowboys are reaping the rewards from it because they just got one of the more explosive linebackers in the entire draft at a premium price. Prime de la crop price, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, and after that, again, you talk about they had some O-line issues with some injuries. Josh Ball, totally get the pick, but Semi Fehoko, 6'4", about 220-ish, around that area, 227, 230, around that. He is, in my mind, a big-bodied receiver that is going to help out Dak Prescott. They didn't need a whole lot of offensive weapons, but man, Fehoko, I really love the pick there too. So overall, if you look at even Bohanna, Mukomoa, I love the Matt Farniok pick too. I can never say any of these names right, so I do apologize and I hope you guys understand. But don't be mistaken. This draft put the Dallas Cowboys on the map. They got this one right. They got this draft right. I'm extremely excited to get the best defensive player in the draft at number 12. And I mean, just to have him fall, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you got to be absolutely livid right now. You got to be on the edge of your seat, just rearing to go. And everybody says Dallas Cowboy fans are the worst. I personally don't see it, but I will say at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys, again, for the people in the back, they nailed this draft, and they finally got it right. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. We deeply appreciate all the support that we've gotten. We would appreciate it even more because it helps people find the show. Make sure those of you that do follow us on all our social media platforms. If you don't, we do always leave descriptions and handles, rather, down in the description below. So make sure you guys do check that out on all social media. Also, if you're looking to check out more of our content, make sure to visit thesportsbriefpodcast.com. Check us out there. And always, if you want to listen to any of our other stuff, we're also on iTunes. But with that, have a great night. And if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, how about them Cowboys?